Okay. Welcome back to the case study of Vanitas. Anime review episode number 16. This one is called The Beast. That's the episode we're covering. Now, this episode adapts more than like 2 or 3 chapters this episode. Oh yes. This one adapts from 34, 34.5, 36, and most of 37. They do skip over a handful of pages. They actually stopped. The episode ended at the 5th to last page of chapter 37. Yep. So we kind of start off a couple different places here. Like in the case of Noe, for him, it's basically like he got hit last episode, and because of the shaking going on, I'll get to more of that. So we see, before I continue here, I had to talk about another thing. So we have Vanitas' group seeing a group of 18th century soldiers still alive, despite the fact that before they were all killed by the beast. Yeah, they're caught in a time loop. Yep, that's pretty much what it is, a time loop. And then Genie, of course, gets enough of this, so she decides to hop up, use her big, humongous mechanical arm that she's got, to hop up in the air, and Vanitas is riding on her back, which I found to be so hilarious. Excuse me. He's like, oh, I didn't know your thing could do this. And he flies there, and then he's like thrown off by Genie, and he lands on top one of the towers. And that's when Noe basically is tossed into a room where, of course, by Gene Jocks, where before he leaves, he proceeds to take his claw, and what does he slices at his own arm, just so that Noe can drink his blood and reveal the secret. Who is the Beast of Gavin? They suspect it's Chloe. But it turns out, no, she is not the Beast. It turns out it's actually John Jex. He is the one who's the actual Beast. She has nothing to do with it at all. It's a false accusation. And him going through the memories, seeing Jock when he apparently was younger, apparently was beaten up by his own father. Yeah, revealed this guy is actually his father when he attempts to shoot him later when he's the Beast. Yep. And of course he gets chastised, all because he's a vampire. Yes, that is the only reason why. How the heck the guy who was born human got made into vampire? Yeah, the series doesn't go into that at all, of how these people become vampires. It's by far one of the most baffling things. Usually, a lot of the time, in some cases anyways, in some forms of fiction we call vampires, they turn somebody into vampire, they have to... Well, the vampire who bites him also has to have the person who they bite them. That turns into a vampire. This has worked in several series. I've seen this happen, like Angel. I've heard this happen in Twilight. I didn't see Twilight. Let's see. This also happened in... You could say this happened in Vampire Knight. I actually stopped at like a couple episodes because I got really bored watching the series because... It was by far the most boringest anime I've ever seen. Like, I got so freaking bored. I stopped after episode 2. A lot of the series basically I keep going, but that one, no, not interested in that one. So, in the case of this one, they really say of how this guy gets turned to vampire. Heck, Chloe was born a human, and then she got turned to vampire off screen. Yeah, they don't really go into how the heck these people are turned into vampires. The whole thing with vampire stuff is not thoroughly explained in the series. And of course, Gene Jocks does know about Noe's ability of reading memories through drinking blood. And that's what he found out about. And then, of course, we have Noe bash his head against the door. Eventually gets out. I thought the door was locked. Apparently got it opened. And he gets out. And he walks with Mar, his cat, and then he's like, he's like the light, and then he collapses, and he's grabbed by Vanitas. Yes. Who, after Vanitas slaps him, and of course Mar jumps on him, he reveals that, oh yeah, it turns out that the whole thing of Chloe being the Beast, that's not true at all. It's actually Gene Jocks, her assistant. And she is, seeking vengeance because she got chastised by humans and vampires. So... They proceed to work together to basically so Vanitas get back his book that was stolen from him at the start of this arc. So he proceeds to. They walk to like a particular area where they're confronted by Accido, the pink-haired Cheshire, who proceeds to take off his coat in freezing weather. Yes, his coat. They reveal, oh yeah, he had this Cheshire attire. I should point out though, it is snowing. Well, if snow's not falling per se, but there's snow. I'm sure it's probably like 20 degrees, and you're wearing an outfit that is probably not good for cold weather. And he's going to take on Noe, who proceeds to want to take him on, and Vanitas gets past no problem. Now, for some reason, they don't show this fight in the anime. They'll probably get saved for next week. My guess, exactly. And then you have Chloe just playing this engine, this alternative engine that they call it in the anime, where she plays like a piano. Of course, Noe does compliment her on her piano playing abilities. Then, of course, like, she introduced himself and what he is, and he's here to save her because she's a curse bearer. She does willingly. And of course, Nave is here. He's like, oh yeah, he's my foe. I hate him. And then of course she activates the machine, and he goes, you have no way. He's like, oh, he's like Nirvana. He's like she's like in this thing. It's like gonna explain this as a woman, and apparently this would actually activate the engine. Apparently her goal was to turn Nave from the dark shadow form into an actual body so she can kill her. Yep, that was her plan. Oh, in case you're curious though, was anything come from this scene? Yes. Dante's showing up. Yes, Dante shows up here. And they cut his pages that he was here. He's there for like 3 pages in the scene. And they cut this out of the episode. I'm not really sure why they cut that for. Maybe they're saying for next week. It's distinctly possible they might be doing that. But yeah, I gotta praise the fact it's good. The fact they covered mostly almost 4 chapters. Which, kudos on the fact that the anime did that. Yep, Bones did a really good job with this episode. And here's the thing. This is only the 4th episode. And we're almost done with the Beast of Gavin arc. If you're curious though, once they finish up 37, of course they adapt 35 as well, how many chapters are left? 6. Yes, 6 chapters. And they have 8 more episodes left. So, I think I start adapting the very next arc as soon as this arc wraps up. It's possible. I mean, I kind of theorize this arc will take up a majority of this curve, probably the whole thing. But it all depends upon what Bones wants to do. Yep. Not much to say this episode. It's a damn good episode, and I'm looking forward to the very next episode airing next week. Hopefully I get a chance to view the night of. Hopefully. Okay, so that's it for you. Next one's going to be Case Closed. And if there's time, and if it's there, Shaman King. Okay, next video. Bye.